Am I the asshole for clapping back after my friends continually made fun of me for driving an old car? I, F30, drive a 14-year-old Honda. My parents helped me buy it when I was in high school, and I've kept it all these years. It has proven very reliable over the years, and though it's old, it serves its purpose and I don't really see the point in spending all kinds of money on a new car. I have two friends who always ask me why I drive an old beater when I have a good job and can easily afford a newer, nicer car. Like when I say always, I mean it comes up every time we hang out. I always shut them and try to change the topic, because I don't feel that my financial decisions are anyone's business. I just tell them I plan to drive the car until it dies, then I move on to another subject. Both of these friends drive nice cars. One has an Audi SUV and the other has a BMW SUV that they both bought brand new. But they both live in crappy apartments, and personally I don't understand why someone would buy a $70,000 plus car when that money could be used towards saving for a home. But like I said, I don't think financial decisions are anyone else's business, so I've never voiced that opinion. Until recently. I just bought a house. My friends were ragging on me saying I'm going to have such a nice house, but I'm going to be parking the old crappy Honda in the driveway. They said it's a shame and will be an eyesore. At that point, I said, I choose not to buy a new car, because frankly, cars are expensive. They continued to push the topic and say that they don't understand how they can afford to buy nice cars and I can't. I was getting annoyed at this point and I said, I don't understand how I can afford a house and you guys can't. Maybe it's because of all the money you've wasted on your useless status symbols. I can afford to buy fancy German cars like yours, but it's a bad investment and waste of money. Woman shrugging. My friends are saying I'm the asshole for calling their cars useless status symbols, because they've worked hard to buy them just like I worked hard to buy my house. My comment created a huge rift in the group, but I feel like they should have just stayed in their lane. Not the asshole. OMG, your friends sound shallow. Kudos on you for doing your own thing without letting these people pressure you. Imagine driving a $70,000 car and renting? Talk about bad choices. But like you said, not your business. I have two friends who always ask me why I drive an old beater when I have a good job and can easily afford a newer, nicer car. People live outside their means all the time, and should butt out of your financial business if they can't take comments on theirs. You stayed out of theirs until they made it your problem by constantly commenting on yours. If they value a fancy car over a nice house and a retirement fund, that's fine. If you value the opposite, that's fine too. Massively judging you as a result of driving an old car as being an asshole. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my son pants? Today kids can wear their costumes to school. My son's costume includes a leotard. I got a call around 10 asking me to bring in pants for my son. I was really annoyed, because I was at work, but I went home and grabbed some. I got to the classroom, and there were many kids wearing leotards. Not the majority or anything, but a fair number of girls were wearing costumes that had leotards. I went up to the teacher and asked what the issue was. She said it wasn't appropriate. I pointed out all the girls with leotards, and she said that was fine. I said that if it's fine for them, it's fine for him. If there's a rule, and no leotards wasn't on the guidelines, it needs to be enforced equally. She said I needed to change him or she was sending him to the office. I went to the office myself and got the principal. She was really annoyed but eventually agreed to go with me to the classroom. She looked at the costume and said, "It's fine," and then left. The teacher was clearly frustrated, and when I was leaving and thanked the principal, she rolled her eyes at me. When I got back to work, I told a friend the story and she said I was a little over the top. She said the teacher was probably worried something would happen, but that's stupid. If a rule exists, it needs to exist for everyone, not just boys. Was I wrong for taking a stand? She said the teacher was probably worried something would happen. Like what? The implication your friend is making here is weird. Like super weird. It's a stupid double standard. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Fair is fair. If other kids are wearing leotards, why can't your son? I get the feeling that your son is young, elementary school. So I am not sure why the teacher had a problem with your son's costume. You insisted that your son be treated just like the other people, girls, in his class. That is only fair. You've spent a day teaching your son and his classmates that fair is fair in spite of gender. Good for you. Am I the asshole for wanting to meet my daughter after giving up my parental rights? Long story short, In my 40 female 20s I had a one-night stand with this guy, Nathan, now 41 male, and got pregnant. I first thought of having an abortion, but Nathan had come from a conservative religious background, not Christian, and wanted the baby, so we made a deal. I would give birth to the child and sign away my parental rights. My name is not even in her birth certificate. It's a possibility in my country. And he would pay all the medical expenses plus some extra for my troubles. That's what we did and didn't keep contact after his daughter was born. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine who has the same religion as Nathan sent me a post from her temple's youth group. They were asking for donations for the homeless, and one of the girls from the picture looked a lot like me. I searched for her profile and found out that she had Nathan's surname and had the right age to be the baby I gave away. She's 17 now and seems to be doing fine. She is involved in charity work, apparently loves music and has lots of pictures with friends and family, Nathan, his wife and half-siblings. I never wanted nor want to be a mother, but I became curious to know more about this human I put in the world, so I texted Nathan's old phone number, which he has not changed, and asked if he would allow me to meet his daughter, since I gave birth to her and everything, and made my intentions clear. I do not want to interfere with his family, just to know her. He then wrote a long text which comes down to the fact that I am an asshole for wanting to know his daughter now after I abandoned her and that this meeting would only mess up with her head. I told him I was telling him out of courtesy because soon the girl will be an adult and be able to choose herself if she wants to meet me. He then blocked me. Am I being the asshole here? I don't think there is any harm in meeting my daughter. She already has a great family and it would only be beneficial to her to know about her own history. But maybe I am not seeing the full picture. Also sorry for any mistakes or weird phrases, English is not my first language. And #X200B. Update. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for your judgment. Some of you were pretty harsh and a bit misogynistic to be honest. But I needed to hear what the well-intentioned comments had to say. Some answers to common assumptions. 1. I wasn't coerced into giving birth. Nathan and I reached an agreement in a situation that involved us both. I'll admit that I was young. Didn't know what pregnancy was really like and needed the money, which I'm not proud of, but hey, y'all are gonna judge me anyway. 2. I didn't want to reach out to Nathan's daughter just because she looks like me. I only mentioned it because this is what made me realize that the girl on the picture was the child I gave birth to, but it blew out of proportion. 3. I don't know why some people assumed Nathan is Christian and why they were judging him for being religious. He is Jewish and I am agnostic myself, but don't think it's a problem for him to have a strong bond with his religion. The one-night stand happened when we were very young and I don't know what his views are about that, but it doesn't matter. His daughter apparently is very attached to their community and it's important to her. Also, I might have used the word temple wrong, but I'm not Jewish myself. 4. When I said I don't want to be a mother, I didn't mean I didn't want a relationship with Nathan's daughter. I am not her mother since I didn't raise and don't want to take this place from the person who truly did, his wife. I also chose not to have children of my own. So after reading your comments, I came to a better understanding of what my role is in this situation and decided to reach out to his wife through social media to try to make amends. She was very understanding and explained to me that Nathan had a couple of tough years being a single dad before meeting her, and me coming back like that made it seem, like some of you pointed out, that I wanted to skip the hard parts and become a parent out of nowhere, which was never my intention. They told their daughter that her birth mother had to go back to her home country and couldn't take care of her, which was kind. The wife is going to talk to Nathan to leave the door open if their daughter wants to meet me when she's older, and I gave her all my contact information for when and if the time comes. I'll admit I was being a bit selfish here, so that is the best ending I could hope for. Thank you again. Honestly, I think you are the asshole. You decided not to be in your child's life. It is not fair for you to now force yourself back into it because you want to. A more appropriate course of action would have been to reach out to provide current contact information and let him know that if she was ever interested in getting to know you, that's something you are open to. It should be her choice, not yours. So you didn't want her then, you don't want her now, but you're curious to see how she turned out? You are the asshole. You have no desire to be in her life, but want to meet her. Do you not think that would be upsetting to meet the woman who gave you away and learn she still doesn't care about you? Leave her alone. Am I the asshole for laughing at my neighbor's face after she told me she will get my dogs removed? I have seen a similar post here, however I have a slightly different issue. I, 42 female, live outside the big city together with my husband, 50, and my daughter, 14 female. Our house is located further away from most of the houses in the neighborhood as we also run an equine center. The center is not big and mainly for private clients stabling 18 horses, most of which are quite pricey. My daughter's horses are also stabled there. The house, the yard, the fields and the arena are on the same territory which is fenced up. Because of this and my husband going to work in the city and my daughter going to school there, I'm often left alone to look after the yard and make sure it is running. We also have staff members that look after the stables and horses and instructors teaching people how to ride. But as I said, it is private, so the owners normally need to make sure they call us before coming so their horses are ready and to avoid too many people. We only provide services to the people who stable their horses at our place and don't run a riding school since all the horses are private. Also, some yard staff also live on top of the stables. There's residential area with kitchen, bathroom, bedroom and TV. Some of my daughter's friends also have their own horses which are stabled there, so sometimes they can stay over at ours over the weekends or holidays. Because of all the above and alongside with security cameras, we also have 4 guard dogs, Caucasian and Middle Asian Shepherds, which we let roam free on the territory during night or when we don't have a lot of owners around. The dogs are familiar with all the kids, my daughter and her friends, the owners and the members of staff working at the yard. In fact, they are very friendly to them. However, they are guard dogs, so they are ready to protect the property. One of the neighbor's kids became notorious at trying to climb over the fence to look at the horses, even after multiple warnings not to do that. On Friday they have managed to get through during the evening, so our dogs cornered them and didn't let them move. I have only found out about it after hearing police sirens coming to the property. Apparently they were cornered for a while, and since the dogs won't let them out, their mother had to call the police. I took the dogs away so the kids could go, and the police officer said I did nothing wrong, since guard dogs are allowed. But the mother has tried to pull the card how traumatized the kids are and the dogs should be taken care of, and I laughed and reminded her they have been warned multiple times. She started spreading the rumors and they made it to the local newspaper saying I'm the asshole. Not the asshole. You are allowed to have guard dogs that protect your property, as the police have said. And even better, your dogs didn't harm the child, only cornered them. But if that child attempts this again, you might want to consider pressing charges. This was trespass. And you'll also have a report. Not the asshole. I'd press charges against the kid's mother and report them to social services if she can't make sure the kid doesn't trespass. Can she handle the kid at all? She wants to fight, have a fight. Not the asshole. You have a fence for a reason. That kid's parents have clearly not taught them what boundaries mean. They are taught. The neighbors are lucky your dogs are so well trained they only cornered the intruder and didn't shred them.